The internet has won. The internet has won. Today, the internet is the main vehicle to acquire and share knowledge. Before, to get an education, you had to go to the library or drive to a college campus. Not anymore. Today, education comes to you. It comes to where you are. The COVID pandemic was actually the realization point for many people that there is no need to move to a physical place to get a course. You can learn anything you want from home just by looking at your computer. In this presentation, we are going to analyze how online courses have grown over the last 5 years, what was the effect of the pandemic on online education, and we are going to estimate what is the trend of online courses going forward. For making the analysis, we have chosen some of the biggest online learning platforms available right now: Coursera, Udemy, and LinkedIn Learning. Based on the last data we have available, Coursera counts with more than 76 million learners, Udemy has more than 50 million learners, and LinkedIn Learning has more than 27 million. There is a good number of areas we want to cover in this presentation. First, we are going to analyze the top 10 most profitable course niches on the 3 platforms. Then, we are going to perform an analysis on the number of courses, how they changed over time, and what we can expect in the future. We are going to show a similar analysis of the number of learners for these 3 platforms. Finally, we are going to conclude with a deep analysis of all this data and some advice on business opportunities in the area of online education. An important point in our analysis is that we have taken a portion of the most popular courses on each platform to represent the growth and trends of the industry. For example, in Udemy, the top 20% most popular courses account for 90% of their enrollments. Since we don't have access to detailed usage data from these platforms, we decided to get approximately the top 20 most popular courses on each platform and perform our analysis with them. In total, we analyzed 52 courses on 10 different domains that sum up to around 32 million students. The domains we analyzed are programming, artificial intelligence, thinking process and coaching, wellness, communication, office tools, arts and digital design, finance, marketing, remote work, and time management. We are going to get into the details of all this during this presentation. The most popular learning area of all the courses we have analyzed is programming. The most popular programming language that people are learning is Python. This trend is in line with the growth of this language in the last 5 years. In addition, there are some popular courses for web development, which include HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. But also, there are some specific courses for JavaScript or some of its frameworks like React. We have also found interest in ethical hacking and in other areas like C# for development of the virtual reality platform Unity, SQL development, or development in cloud platforms. Programming-related courses constitute 22% of the enrollments analyzed in our data set. The second most popular area is artificial intelligence. It includes the machine learning course of Coursera, which has more than 4.6 million learners. This course is the top performer on that platform. In addition, there are courses related to data science and applied machine learning. All of these courses tend to be practical, with hands-on exercises in programming languages like Python, MATLAB, or R. AI accounts for 15% of the enrollments analyzed in this study. The third most popular learning area is the thinking process and coaching. In this category, it has included another highly popular Coursera course, Learning How to Learn, with more than 2.7 million students. Other courses in this area include Critical and Strategic Thinking, How to Become a Coach, or An Introduction to Psychology. The area of thinking process and coaching represents 14% of the total enrollments analyzed. The fourth most popular subject is wellness. This area has been particularly in demand during 2020 due to the pandemic. Within this category, it is worthwhile to highlight 2 very popular Coursera courses, The Science of Wellbeing, with more than 3 million enrollments, and COVID-19 Contact Tracing, with more than 1 million enrollments. This category accounts for 14% of the studied enrollments. The fifth position is for communication. This category includes subjects like written and spoken English to communicate more effectively, communication fundamentals, confidence in communication, developing emotional intelligence, and developing listening skills. Communication accounts for 10% of the enrollments. The sixth position is Office Tools. In this category, most of the courses are related to Excel. In addition, a course related to Microsoft Teams Essential Training attracted a significant number of students. The category of Office Tools received 7% of the enrollments analyzed. The seventh place is for Arts and Digital Design. This category includes a variety of courses such as learning piano, learning how to draw, guitar classes, character drawing, digital design, and photography. Arts and Digital Design represent 5% of enrollments. The eighth most popular area is Finance. A large portion of students did the Coursera course on financial markets offered by Yale University. In addition, there is a short MBA and a course on financial analysis. Finance accounts for 4% of enrollments. Marketing is the ninth area that received more students. In this category, popular courses cover several areas of marketing, such as digital marketing, personal branding, marketing fundamentals, or marketing in social platforms like Instagram. Marketing got 4% of the analyzed students. The final and 10th category is remote work and time management. This category attracted a good number of enrollments due to the COVID pandemic. Popular courses include time management fundamentals, a course to benefit from working from home, and project management. This category received 4% of the enrollments. It is important to understand that fewer enrollments in an area don't imply less interest in this area. From the data, the only thing we can extract is that this particular courses on a specific area attract more interest than others. For example, the machine learning course at Stanford is really successful. We can attribute its success to several reasons. For example, the course was one of the first in the area, it is taught by a well-known expert in machine learning, and it has a simple and engaging hands-on approach. Arguably, communication has a larger audience than programming or artificial intelligence. Communication is a skill that most people use in their day-to-day work, while programming and AI are used by a reduced number of professionals. However, the number of enrollments in communication is lower. This can be a very good opportunity for course creators and entrepreneurs that want to create a course in that area. The next diagram shows the market size in billions of dollars of online learning. We can see that from 2015 to 2020, the market doubled its size from $107 billion to $199 billion. During 2020, we can see an increase in the market value of 20%, which is the highest of the previous years. From 2020 onward, we expect to see a steady increasement in market value until $375 billion in 2026. Apart from that forecast, that we can tell to be more or less precise, we can extract a clear trend in the market. We expect to see a year-to-year increase of between 10% and 20%. An increase of these amounts is considered by most analysis a hot market, meaning that there is a big business opportunity. A venture capitalist, Mark Anderson, explains, in a great market, a market with lots of real potential customers, the market pools product out of the startup. The market needs to be fulfilled, and the market will be fulfilled by the first viable product that comes along. Now, let's take a look at each individual platform in detail. In this diagram, we see the growth of the number of courses in Coursera. Coursera policy is to have a small offering, but of high quality. In many of their courses, they do partnerships with top universities. During 2020, there has been an increase in the number of courses of 45%, which is a big jump with respect to past years. The trend is to keep adding new courses. Udemy has a different approach. The number of courses is the highest amongst the three platforms analyzed. During the pandemic in 2020, the growth in the number of courses has been 57%, from 100,000 courses to 157,000, which was also the highest among the three platforms. The forecast is growing aggressively in the next few years. Finally, we show the number of courses in LinkedIn Learning. In October 2017, LinkedIn bought lynda.com, and the platform was renamed LinkedIn Learning. Interestingly, the growth in the number of courses has been linear, and we don't see a large jump during the year of the pandemic. Looking at the three platforms at the same time, we can see that Udemy is the one that has the higher number of courses, more so than LinkedIn Learning, and finally Coursera. Now, after analyzing the number of courses, let's take a look at the number of enrollments for each platform. The platform that attracts a higher number of students is Coursera. During 2020, there was a big jump in the number of enrollments, and the platform went from having 45 million learners to 76 million, which represents a delta of 69%. The forecast for the following years is an annual growth of 30%. Now, in Udemy, Even though we saw a big difference in the number of new courses during the pandemic of 57%, there is not an equivalent increase in the number of learners. We see steady growth since 2016, between 20% and 30%. In addition to this fact, we know that in Udemy, the top 20% of courses by enrollment account for 90% of all enrollments. Currently, there are 335 courses with over 100,000 enrollments and a couple with over 1 million enrollments. Also, it is interesting to note that the longer the course, the more enrollments it gets. For example, courses longer than 20 hours have an average enrollment of 11,400 students, while courses that are less than 1 hour long have an average enrollment of 2,000 students. The pattern we are seeing in Udemy is a winner takes all. This platform has a lot of content, but mostly concentrated on a few courses. Finally, LinkedIn Learning is the latest platform entering the game, but already has a strong user growth. In 2020, we saw a growth of 35% from 20 million learners to 27 million. As with the other platforms, we expect to see strong growth in the coming years. Now, if we take a look at the aggregated data from the three platforms, we see a massive growth trend since 2016. During the year of the pandemic, the aggregate number of new learners in the three platforms is 48 million, which constitutes a delta of 46%. So in 2020, there are 48 million new students that started a course on these three platforms. As we can see in the diagram, the platform that attracted more users is Coursera, followed by Udemy, and finally, LinkedIn Learning. The forecasted number of learners for the next few years is expected to grow at a rate of almost 30%. There is definitely a massive business opportunity in the space of online education, and these platforms and many others are investing heavily in quality content. Now, we are going to do a finer analysis of the growth estimation dividing by categories. As we have seen at the beginning of the presentation, we have 10 categories: programming, artificial intelligence, thinking process and coaching, wellness, communication, office tools, arts and digital design, finance, marketing, remote work, and time management. What we did in this diagram is, using the general estimations of growth, we obtained the number of learners of each platform and weighted them per category. Again, please don't take these numbers as a ground truth, but as a general direction of where online education might go. As they say, all predictions are wrong, but some are useful. For programming, the trend is a growth of 25% for 2021 and 29% in 2022. This is in line with how programmers typically learn, which is directly from internet content. Forums like Stack Overflow are used for solving quick programming problems, and online courses are used to master a programming language. Artificial intelligence is getting more and more attention over the last few years, and we see a big interest in that is aligned with growth and in the number of enrollments. For 2021, the estimated growth is 28%, and for 2022, it is 27%. The thinking process and coaching are expected to grow by 32% in 2021 and 26% in 2022. We see a large number of professionals starting a coaching business, and many of them want to monetize their professional skills. There is no doubt that now is the best time to start a coaching business. Wellness is forecasted to grow by 29% in 2021 and 26% in 2022. Again, the areas of fitness, wellness, and health courses have attracted a lot of interest during the pandemic and will continue to attract students in the next couple of years. Communication, public speaking, and emotional intelligence are even now more important than before the pandemic started. The growth of these areas is expected to be 34% in 2021 and 26% in 2022. Office tools will keep attracting interest at a rate of 34% in 2021 and 26% in 2022. Arts and digital design is a broad category that includes both personal and professional learning. It is forecasted to grow by 21% in 2021 and 32% in 2022. Finance is another category that will experience a substantial change. It is expected to increase by 26% in 2021 and 29% in 2022. In a similar trend, we expect marketing to grow by 30% in 2021 and 28% in 2022. Within this category, we have seen a strong interest in social marketing of platforms like Facebook, Instagram, and more recently, TikTok. Finally, the last category in our list is remote work and time management. This category is expected to grow by 40% in 2021 and 23% in 2022. There is a large number of companies that have announced that they will let employees work from home even after the lockdown finishes. One takeaway of the COVID situation is that there are a large number of jobs that can be done remotely, so courses in this area will attract a lot of interest. Now, let's see some key takeaways of this study. The first point is that the COVID-19 pandemic has produced a massive growth in online course enrollments. In the 3 platforms we analyzed, the growth rate has been 46%. The key to making successful courses is quality. We have seen that Coursera, which has a small number of courses, attracted the larger portion of enrollments. In Udemy, there is a small number of high-quality courses that attracted 90% of the enrollments in the platform, and the same happens for LinkedIn Learning. Then, an important piece of advice for course creators: focus on quality over quantity. In terms of categories, technical content like programming and AI attracts the highest interest, followed by interpersonal skills like thinking process, coaching and communication, and this is followed by wellness and fitness. These 3 large groups make up 76% of the enrollments in the 3 platforms analyzed. So, a takeaway for people thinking of starting an online course business: these groups, technical content, interpersonal skills, and wellness, are where the largest audience is. In the next couple of years, we estimate that online course enrollments will keep growing at a rate of 30%. Market growth of 30% is extremely high. Most investors will consider a market growing 20% a hot market. Even if our predictions are high, there is still a large margin between 20 and 30%. A market with such a growth rate has a large number of potential customers. These customers will be looking for content. Each of these potential customers has particular needs, so when the market is so big, a massive business opportunity arises. The business opportunity is creating high-quality online courses in a particular niche. So, a great piece of advice for any creator out there is: identify a niche that interests you in an area that you are an expert on, and create a course about it. Thank you very much for your attention.